So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are, and welcome to another interview of the Shield on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I have the guitarist and founding member of the Belgian band La Muerte, Dee J, joining me, and we're about to talk about the new album that they just released on November 25th called Sortilegia. So, Dee J, how are you? How's everything in Belgium?
Fine, good. Everything is fine. The
So,
record
yeah,
is out. The reaction are incredible. So I'm totally stunned because I'm coming out from a period where I'm full of doubts. Like 2-3 months before the record comes out, I'm just like, I don't know where I am. And now suddenly the reviews are coming and everything is super positive. Everybody around us says it's a great album, and that's a reassurance.
Yeah, so yeah, we were talking offline. So you're getting off a bad flu. So yeah, I think sometimes everyone start getting sick at this time of year because the change in the weather.
Yeah, sure. And
Yeah,
I
so
think so everybody is a little bit more sensitive due to the fact that everybody was wearing masks before and now not anymore. So probably your body is fragile, more fragile than it used to be, or
yeah,
more
I think so too.
sensitive to microbes and stuff like that. So, but it's the
Yeah,
weather.
that
It's very cold now. So
yeah makes sense. Yeah, Belgium. I went to Belgium years ago, back in 2005, but I just went to one city for 1 or 2 days, so I didn't really get to see the country. So it's a
yeah,
place that I would love to return. So yeah, I listened to the new album, which came out on November 25th, and I was listening to your old material because you've been putting albums since the 80s, and you had a few albums in the 80s, in the 90s, and the last album you had put out was in 2018. So there was a 4-year gap,
yeah.
and also. I read that you're gonna play the first show in 4 years soon. So
In Brussels, yeah, that
in
will be our
Brussels.
first show in 4 years. Yeah, because
So
the last time we played Brussels was 2019 or 18, I think. And it was for the release of the previous album. But we played everywhere else, but only in Brussels. We don't play much in Brussels because it's our own town. And
yeah, so when you started as a band, did you used to play there a lot, like in small clubs?
yeah. We did well. We played from 84 until 94, and then we started to do shows abroad. Actually, not in Belgium. We were playing in Holland and maybe France and stuff like that. And then we got called up by the English press. So we went to play in England. And then afterwards, Belgium followed quite
Okay.
later, a year later or something. When everything was rolling, then the press started to get interest into us and see what's going on. And then from that moment, we started to play a bit everywhere. We did several European tours going from Spain to Germany or whatever for 6 weeks or something.
So you had a lot of time to work on this follow-up album. So yeah, I was listening to it, and it's very interesting because like there's a lot of like change in styles in almost every song. Like there's like more punk, like more punky sound now, sound of song. There's some industrial on it. There's some more like hardcore and metal. Like when you were working on this album, uh, how did you want to explore like the sound of La Muerte? Did you just want to take different influences into the sound of the band?
Well, the thing is that throughout the years, we never had our style was no style. I mean, we weren't part of we had no etiquettes from any style at all. So we are always been free to do whatever we want to do. So we just go with the flow. We just follow our moods, and the songs come as they come. And if it's one style or another, we don't give a damn because it's just the way we are. We just follow our mood of the moment. We don't calculate anything. Everything is very spontaneous. So we just
Nice.
do stuff, and then then suddenly you realize, oh well, we did a lot of songs in that style or that style, whatever, but we don't calculate anything. Anything can happen with us.
Yeah, no, that's good. And there's like a freedom with a band like yours that has can blend so many different styles and make it cohesive. So on this album, Sortilegia, like what are some of the themes that you explored on this record?
Well, that's the part of the singer. I must say that the general idea of the album and the title is based on novels from a Belgian novelist from the late 40s or something like that. Gelderode was his name, and the book also is named Sortilège in French. And so everything is a little bit based on that area, on that book, and it's small stories this time. Usually it works a lot with back pages from newspapers, the sordid events in the last pages of the newspaper where the guy killed his wife or whatever. And this time it was more like little story about a priest who doesn't believe in God anymore, or there's always the theme that comes often back is mechanical. So there's this song about a Pontiac. But that's his Harry. I mean, I finished the album. We finished the album, and we didn't know what he was going to sing on it.
Oh yeah, you just did the music and you
Yeah,
let
yeah.
like do the there's some great tunes here. I like Kiss My Fist, Brother Satan's Taking My Hand. There's some really cool tracks on it. So so you guys work on the music and then you give it to the singer and he does his thing. So you
This
don't
time,
know
yes.
what he's singing about until you listen to the finished product then, basically.
Yeah, this time we work like that. It's the first time we did it like this. Also due to circumstances, and we thought it was a good idea to work alone instead of I mean the previous record was pretty low to get in place, to get all the songs, because the process was too slow for me, because we were seeing each other only once a while in the week, and then you forgot what you did last week, and then we had so many recordings from everything, so many ideas and stuff, but it was not so clear. And this time we worked differently. We worked at home instead of all together. So I did songs with the other guitarist, and then Mark did songs with a friend who could express what he had in mind. So, and then suddenly Mark would send us a song with 17 riffs, 17 different riffs. And I say, yeah. And then we say, okay, then we do something about these riffs, and then we construct a song from this idea that he had, all these ideas that he had in his mind. And so we worked totally differently than the previous one, which was,
I think everyone.
The previous one was rehearsal, composing all together. Everything is finished. We go in pre-production. We're recording the first time. Then we go back in at home. We start to write the lyrics, and then we go back in the studio. He does the lyrics in the studio and stuff like that. And this time, we did all the songs, and except for one or two, which were written by the guitarist, like Monster and another song on the album. He wrote those songs. Those songs had already lyrics before we gave them to him. But the rest, we didn't know what he was going to do. And I like that. I like that because it's again part of the way we work, to be so unpredictable.
Yeah, it makes it more spontaneous. And I'm thinking, every artist now, because of the pandemic, had to work that way, which can make it hard, like not being in a same room with your bandmates. And I don't know about you, but doesn't it feel like a school project where you're working on something and you send your part and then the other person sent his part, like you're doing like a school project, but obviously you're doing an album.
Yes, but also we're always very isolated in the scene in general. We are very isolated from everyone else, so it doesn't change a lot for us for that period of COVID and lockdown and stuff like that. We don't interact with a lot of bands, only a few bands, and we are pretty alone in the scene in Belgium still now, because we are what we are and we don't belong to any kind of scene in particular, you know.
Yeah,
because we can go everywhere we want, but we know we are heavy, and we know we are radical, and that's the price to pay somewhere, I guess.
yeah, but the good thing about a band like you guys is that since you have so many styles, you could fit into many different bills with different type of bands.
Sorry, I have to answer Dan, because I said it was not working, and now it is not working. So.
Oh yeah, no worries, no worries. I let him know.
Sorry, what you were saying?
Yeah, the good thing about a band like La Muerte is that since you guys play so many different types of music or musical styles, you can play in different type of like festivals, like because of the difference of your musical style.
Yeah, it's true. But on the other hand, we can't play. It's difficult for us to play in specific festivals like metal festivals or something like that, because we're not metal enough, or we're too aggressive compared to metal. And because we go in different genres and we do whatever we want. You know, if tomorrow Slayer is going to do a new album, we know it's going to be Slayer album. It's going to be Slayer. It's going to sound like Slayer, and the songs will be Slayer. For us, it's very difficult, very different, because anything can happen anytime.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So I'm gonna show.
But that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it, of course.
That's the fun of it, being unpredictable. So I'm gonna show the artwork of the album. So yeah, I was reading that a French artist worked on this album artwork. So yeah, it's pretty cool artwork. Did you want? What were the band thinking of this artwork? Like, what are you trying to convey with this artwork?
I think it's summarized our environment. Objects and everything is related to our music and to our band. I think everything from the gun to the alcohol, the skills, the knives. It's an imagery, but it's a strong imagery that we kind of like. So yeah, we did. It was a difficult sleeve, because the guy who did it had to. Came with one project, and we said no, let's go. No, it's not good enough. Let's go back to the drawing board. And it's for him. It was the first time that somebody says no to one of these projects. He was like, oh. So we pushed him really to the limit, to go further and further and further and search and evolved in the project. Because the first one was not, we didn't like it.
Okay, yeah, no, if you didn't like it, you're not gonna put it out in the world.
Sorry?
That if you didn't like the cover, you know, it's a representation of the band. If you don't like something, yeah, you weren't gonna use that cover.
Sure. That's why we said to him, yeah, let's do it. Let's start from some scratch, and then let's work something out together on that, and then we.
I'm just curious. What was the first album? The album the artwork that he sent. How differently was it from the finished product?
Oh, way different. It was very sober, very minimalistic. Yeah, and yeah, it was not. It was not good. There was no. There is this dimension, this deepness, and there it was very flat.
Yeah, no, I like this album cover because there's a lot of like details that you could like you need to stare at it. For example, I see like a kid that looks like the kid from that movie The Omen. Do you remember that movie? Like it was an old movie from the 70s where like the devil, so it's like the devil is born. So yeah, I like that album artwork because it has a lot of like different details, and I think it really represents the music of this album because
Yeah,
like we
sure.
were discussing, you know, it's so diverse. It goes from different places to different places, and I think that makes for an exciting album. So for you working on the music, which song for you musically was the hardest to write?
The fast one.
Did you say the first one?
The fast one.
The fast
rapid
one.
Yeah. Because it's not in my. It's more in the genes of the other guitarist, because he comes from hardcore, and so he knows how to play fast. I don't know. I had to learn how to play fast, to go faster.
Yeah, you like the songs
I was pushing my limits as well, and it was fun to do because I had to push myself further than I wanted to go to. And I remember doing that on we did in '89 we did a cover album, only covers, and also there I remember that's an album where I evolved a lot as guitarist from that album, because I also had to push my limits to another level and to be concentrated on my play instead of being a wild, a chaotic person. I had to focus a little bit more. But I learned a lot from that album, and it's the same here. I think I'm a better, not musician, but a better player, because I don't see myself as a musician, but I can handle stuff better because I had to work on this album because we wanted to do something fast, and it's not in my general idea to do that. So I learned it and I pushed myself further.
So you stepped out a little bit of your comfort zone on this record to try to play like faster riffing that you're usually not accustomed to. So on that note, DJ, when you were growing up, getting into music, like what bands inspired you to pick up the guitar?
Gang of Four.
Gang of Four?
Yeah. So because, you know, I grew up with punk rock. And then in '77, you realize I was 16 years, and then you realize that I mean, punk rock at that period was okay. Just learn two chords and make a band. You know, buy a guitar, learn two chords and make a band. That was the general idea. The general idea was okay. Now everybody can play. We can all play in a band. We can all be musicians. But the 1, 2, 3, 4 didn't really interest me. I thought it was cool. So I heard a lot of friends of mine playing in bands and making first singles and stuff like that. But it wasn't for me. And then when I went to England and I saw Gang of Four, and then I saw Andy Gill on stage, and I said, well, if one day I play guitar, I'm gonna play like him. I'm gonna move like him, and I'm gonna play like him. That's the kind of guitarist that interests me, and I did. I mean, I understood with Andy Gill. I understood that you had to create your own style. You had to be yourself and just create your own world and your own style in playing. And I must say, I stole a little bit from him in the beginning, but afterwards, my own style evolves, and now I'm still a lousy guitarist, but I have my own style. So I can't really do jam sessions because I would fuck it up badly. But I can play. I mean, it's a weird thing because I had a conversation at a party with a guy who was older than me and said, "Yeah, I play guitar since 20 years and I can't understand. You make so many records and then you say you don't know any chords." I said, "No, I don't know any chords. I can't read notes. I mean, I just do everything by ear. And for him, it was like impossible. It's impossible. You have to know notes. You have to know. I said, no, I don't need to know notes. I just make sounds, and the sounds go from itself, and then you create songs, and that's it. And for him, it was very, very difficult to understand. But for me, it was Andy Gill was really the turning point.
Nice. You know, I
Not
haven't heard
only
that
him,
band.
of course, but some others too. But Andy Gill was really my. Yeah, I want to do feedbacks. I want to do this. I want to do that, and that's what interests me. Although I like Jimmy Page and stuff like that too, but for me, Jimmy Page was like far-fetched. You know, I can't be Jimmy Page. I can't do that. He's talented. He can do anything. He's a genius. But Andy Gill was a genius too, but he was a simple guitarist, but he had an efficient guitarist. And I wanted to be an efficient guitarist, not a good guitarist.
Yeah, sometimes simplicity, it's good, you know, like if the songs are well, and there's different types of guitar players. So yeah, it makes sense what you're saying. I haven't heard of that band, so I will need to look them up to listen to them. Gang of Four. I will check them out because I have not listened to them. So yeah, so
Yeah, it's a very well-known British band in the 80s. He produced Andy produced Killing Joke. He produced
I know Killing Joke. Yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Oh, nice.
because he was also doing that kind of not white funk, but something in between white groovy music also.
Nice.
It was a great band, but he's dead now. He's unfortunately.
Nice. So the La Muerte album, I know it's you have it on LP and vinyl. Do you still have copies that you're gonna have on the show that you're gonna have? Is that show going to be used like as a album release party?
Yes.
Nice. So people can go and get the album. And for people that are not in Belgium, where can they get the album?
Yeah, well, they can get at our label on Consoling Sound, which is a great label. We moved to them for this album. We were on the previous label, and then we thought it was a good idea to go with them because I have bands like Amen Ra and other very good talented people. And so you can buy it there. Consoling
Nice.
Sounds.
Consorting Sounds, yeah. So yeah, I think this album Sortilegia by La Muerte, you know, it's a very interesting album. I didn't know what to expect when listening to it, so I like the variety. At least to me, that's very interesting to listen to an album that has a lot of variety. So I think people that enjoy like that type of like experimentation in rock and different sounds will enjoy it. And it's out now, November 25th. So it was out a few weeks ago. So I'll put the link in the description so people can go in and order it. And if you're in Belgium for the release show, I'm reading here the release show is going to be on
the 25th of January.
On the 25th, so next year, 2023, January 25th. You can catch them. Is there any other band playing with you guys?
Yeah, we invited Emmelbuster, which is on Van Records, very good band. And then we also invited a local band from Brussels, Terrifiant.
Nice.
Which is made out of members of different bands put together for this. It's really a old school classic heavy metal stuff, I should say.
Nice. That's cool. So Dee J, you know, right now we're almost at the end of the year, and you know, there's the time where a lot of people reflect on the music that has come out, and people do their top something albums for you this year. Any albums that you listened to a lot this year?
Oh fuck. You caught me. You caught me a little bit unexpected on that one because I can't recall all the records I buy. I would say an interest band to check out is Neptunian Maximalism, also from Brussels. Wolvenest, very interesting. I worked with them as a sound engineer for almost 5 or 6 years now, 5 years, I guess. We did Roadburn and stuff like that, and I'm their mixer since day one. And it's a very good band too, also on Fan Records. I should say, what else? Oh, you caught me a little bit unexpected. I have to check my records to remember which one I bought two records today, and I bought a lot of old records too. So I have a wide collection. So it's difficult for me to pick up records.
Yeah, no, yeah, I threw you a curveball there with what you're listening to this album. So yeah, so you talked about two bands from Belgium. Can you repeat the names? I'll check them out as well.
Yeah, Neptunian Maximalism. That's a 9-10 piece band with 2 drummers. It's a very long songs. It's a mixture of psychedelism and other stuff. It's you have keyboards. You have trumpet or whatever, wind instruments, and 2 drummers on stage. It's very good, very good. Yeah. And then the other one is Wolvenest.
Yeah, I'll check them out.
Also with my other guitarist is playing with them. It's his own band that he created a couple of years ago, and we played a lot with them everywhere.
Nice. So DJ, it was great meeting you and talking about La Muerte, which is easy for me to say since I speak Spanish.
Yeah. You're the first guy who pronounced the name of the band and the title in an excellent.
Oh yeah, no, I speak Spanish.
Excellent way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's difficult for American people. It's sometimes a bit difficult to pronounce La Muerte.
Oh yeah, no, to me it's easy. So yeah, no, so yeah, the album is out now, people. You can go stream it, you can buy it. I'll put the links. And DJ, again, thank you for taking some time to talk with me, and hopefully more people can get into La Muerte. I know that the band has been around for a lot of years now, but you're more of in the underground Belgium scene. So people, check them out. Cool record to end the year on. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield doing a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you, and good.